That's a part of the problem with games like this, is you get used to some of the sort of quality of life mods, and then when you start a new game that doesn't have access to them, it's sort of yeah. Once upon a time I was really good at loading bales on a trailer, and then they invented the auto load mod, and I lost that skill. That said, the nice thing about, say, using an auto load mod on a stream is that I don't have to waste time stacking bales. Although some people don't see it as wasting time, I can get on with other tasks that need to be done. There we go. This is kind of a handy seeder because it includes fertilizer, although that does limit the amount of seed and fertilizer I can carry. I have at times preferred a seed-only seeder because then you know the supply is all seed. So potentially I could have 5,000 litres of seed in this, but instead I've got 3,000 seed and 2,000 fertiliser. But this one also cultivates as it goes. So once this field is harvested, I'll be able to run straight through it with just the seeder. I don't need a cultivator, which is why I sold the cultivator that comes with the farm. Kind of figured I really don't need it since the seeder doesn't need one either. Now if I had a planter, none of the planters include cultivating capabilities, then obviously that would, yeah, I would need a cultivator. Now, once I've got my cows up, I might go for a slurry tank cultivator. I think there's 2 options for that, or at least there was in Farm Sim 17. I haven't really looked closely at what's available on 19. But that's always handy, just run around a field dumping slurry and cultivating at the same time. We're going to run out of fertilizer before we run out of seed again. Trees in the way. Okay. Sorry, I'm concentrating a bit for all of this. There we go. I think once this job's done, we're kind of done the JD for now. Yeah, 9 hours on this tractor already. Still got a long way to go to catch up with the class I was using on Norfolds, which has about 120 odd hours on it, I think, at last check. And when I find a tractor that works for the farm, I tend to run it for everything. The problem with the class I was using was it was the biggest tractor I had available, and it was like in this case, it's the the JD is the only one that can run the plough. It's the only one that can run the seeder. And that can be a problem when I've got 2 feet. I've got 2 fields here. What's it? 18 and 15. They both need ploughing. They both need lime, and they both needed seeding. And basically, what I did, since 18 was already cultivated and ready to plant, I just said, go with it. I'm going to lose out on not having it ploughed. I'm going to lose out on not having it limed. But I'm prepared to take that just so that I have crop in the ground that's going to make me money sooner. Now, conversely, this field, since we'd already pulled a bad yield crop out of it, I figured it was probably worthwhile, once I had the other field planted, there's less imperative to say, okay, I can take the time to lime and plough this field and improve the yield. With the canola we've got 1 stage of fertiliser. We're trying to get a 2nd stage of fertiliser, so it's not like we're getting under 100% yield. We're getting over 100% yield. We're not getting the potential 165 that we could get if it had lime and wasn't suffering from the "you didn't plough this" penalty. The other thing we need to watch for is weeds, obviously. And I'm planning, if we do have a weed problem, I'm going to use a weeder rather than leave it late and running a herbicide spray over. That's what I've been doing on Estancia Lepacho. I've been using a sprayer for herbicide and fertilizer. And since the seeder there doesn't have any fertilization capabilities, I have to run the fertilizer twice. Okay, I'll take it down here. We'll run across the bottom and see where the telephone poles gave us some grief. Good luck with what? There's a whole track of stuff here that hasn't been planted. Oh, yeah. I mean, on Stancio Apache, I haven't had too many issues. It's just, yeah, obviously using herbicide, well, I don't know. With herbicide and weeders, it's kind of 6 of one, half a dozen the other. They're both really slow pieces of equipment comparatively. Although the herbicide has got a better working width. But it costs me money to use. Why didn't that work? Oh, I see why that didn't work. It turned off because we ran out of fertilizer. Let's fold that up. I can understand that. We do, we have turned weeders off on the multiplayer maps. And that's because if you're one of the farm managers, actually it's twofold. It's turn off withering, turn off weeds. And the reason for that is because I might get onto the server and plant some crop, and then I need to go and do something. So I'm not going to, I'm not going to continue for the day. Oh, is that the? That's why I was having problems filling up the. What was it? The fertilizer spreader. It was because I was trying to fill it up at the seed dispenser. But yeah, because people are on and off all day on a server, if you leave weeds active and they're not on when the weeds cross the map, then when they get back on and are ready to harvest their crop, you're going to find that, well, sadly, your crop's full of weeds and there is nothing you can do about it now because the crop's ripe and ready to go. And pretty much the same with withering. If you're not on exactly when your crop's ready to go, then you've got the potential of, well, you've just lost your crop. And that's not your fault. Real life obviously gets in the way. Now, on a solo game, not so much of an issue. Yeah, this game's only running when I'm on, so I don't mind playing with weeds. It's a pain, but it's part of the gameplay, and I don't mind that. But if it's outside of my control because the server's running 24/7 and my life, there are things I need to do that are more important than playing a game. So let me shut the lid. There we go. So it's only fair to all players that things like seeding and weeding, weeding and withering are turned off. At least then, you're always going to get at least 100% crop yield if you're doing your liming, because obviously lime is under your control. You do that before you put the seed in the ground. You can't always guarantee, you can guarantee that you'll get one layer of fertilization if your seeder has fertilizer, or if you run around immediately after seeding and put some fertilizer in the ground. But you might not be able to manage a second stage of fertilizer on a on a multiplayer server. But or at least one stage of fertilization, and lime is under a player's control on a multiplayer server all the time. Hi Long Hauler, how you doing? Now, I've not found that. Weeds only pop on ground that is that is currently growing. As soon as the field is ready to harvest, that's it. The weeds are done. You will never get weeds on a yellow field. Because I've watched that happen, where the weeds are passing across the field, and they skip your field because your field's ready to harvest. Then as soon as you've harvested the field and potentially seed it, I think there is a chance that the weeds might establish out of normal cycle. I can't remember. I've not been paying attention to it that much. But I did, as I said, I did notice that if a field's ready to harvest, the weeds skip it. You might, there might be instances of that on my Estancia Lapacho playthrough, which is available on YouTube. I haven't put the first part of this out yet, I don't think, because I finished kind of late last night and didn't get a chance to push any videos live. Here's the next bit. Oh, yeah, whatever. Let's turn around and just run across the bottom there. Try and get as much of it as we can. We'll swing around and do a northwest. Yes, I do post to YouTube, and there, if you're watching this on Twitch on a PC, if you scroll down a bit, you'll see links to my YouTube and information about, in general, what I'm planning to stream over the course of a week. Done. Go back down. Actually, let's do a diagonal run past the pole. Yeah, somehow I ended up activating the create fields while I was ploughing this. So all of the grass around the bottom of the telephone poles are gone. Or at least most of it has. Straighten up the tractor. And then we can swing past that and cut back in. There we go. And then we'll run over here and do that bit there. And I think I'll pull up the map and see where we're at. That's... That's a telephone pole, that's a telephone pole. I think we are done. Magic. Okay. So that's kind of awesome. Let's fold that thing up. Yeah, if you go to YouTube, search for probably either Osei World of Warships or Osei Lawfolds Combat Aberdeenshire, you should come across my YouTube channel. Spelt exactly the same way as... How does that look? Yeah, we'll put that one. As it is here on Twitch. And the sun's coming up, so that'll be a good thing. Oh, now I've still got the straw bales in here. I do plan to move them down to the main yard because obviously the animal pens are going to be down there. Possibly good enough. No reverse lights on the... Oh, there are red lights at the back, so... One of the little cheats I discovered was using the lights on your equipment to judge how close to the wall you are. So, maintenance is good. This thing needs some fuel before we put it away. Very rusty looking fuel tank. Yeah, probably something health and safety would have to say about that. Currently I'm keeping my tractors in here. Although I could use it as... I could either use this as bale storage or... Stick it there, turn the lights off. Yeah. Well, there's a shed round here. Don't know that I've got anything left in it now. I could put bales in here. I don't know. That one doesn't have anything in it right now. And I'll leave the door open. So we're going to need the pickup trailer first. So that's in that shed, and I'm thinking I will put the spreader in this shed too, and we are going to have to take the the stuff out. Okay, this field is a complete disaster. Complete disaster. Okay. Let's go over there and try and finish that bit off. Hello. Okay. There's a gap there. And somewhere over here. said, wasting a lot of fertiliser, but it does go a long way. That's not too bad a thing. Not particularly easy to see it in this light. So how does that look? Okay, we got all of that done. We now have a little gap down there. Let's try and do that. Okay, looks like it's to the left of here. Yeah, definitely looks like it's to the left of here. I just don't know how easy this is going to be. I think I'm right on the right hand edge of a fertilised section. I could be missing a bit. Very hard to tell. Okay. It's not like my eyesight's pretty good because my eyes are getting really old. No, stop. Well, we managed to fill in the gap. We just didn't manage to get the bit at the top end. So, somewhere over here, there's a bit that got missed. Looking for the subtle variations in... It's a little bit further up. That looks like it might be the place. Yes. So just run through the middle of this bit and we should be good. Done. Yes, done. Okay. So, come over here. There we go. So now we have this bit. This is going to be all sorts of horrible. But we'll have a go. Sure, I'm getting it all the way to the edge. But, we'll do what we can. Also, don't know how far up I need to go. It looks like we might have reached the edge. Okay, turn that off. Not bad. And we have a little patch here. Oh, I pressed go faster. I didn't mean to do that. Yep. A little patch there. Okay. We missed part of the little patch there. I am really not going to bother with that. Meanwhile, now it's going to be difficult. Yeah. Although, to be fair, I will be streaming Estancia Lapacho on Tuesday, which is my long-running Farm Sim 19 stream. I'm not ready, I haven't got to a point where that one is quite done yet. It's close, I think, because, it's getting very repetitive. Although this one really has been just an extended first look for now. I've kind of started doing that with the maps as they're coming out, rather than doing a quick, let's drive around the map and have a look at, here's a tree, here's a field, here's a building, this is where you sell your bales, this is where you buy your stuff. I'm kind of doing it as okay, let's go and explore this map and see what we get out of it. I can't tell. Yeah, back up. Okay, that looks like something. But if I do this map, it's going to be an occasional weekend thing rather than replacing Estancia Lapacho. Oh, it's one of the reasons why I started Estancia Lapacho in the first place. Oh my goodness, that's I don't know. I'm just completely messing this thing up. Just drawing lines on a field. Let's go. I started Estancia Lapacho because I didn't get Farm Sim 19 until the 19th of December, which was a Monday, which is my regular World of Warships stream. And on Tuesday, they released Estancia Lapacho as a map. So I decided, okay, well, since everybody else is doing Ravenport and Felsbrunn, I'm going to do Estancia Lapacho. Yeah. That too. We'll do the best we can, and I think what I'm going to aim at here is kind of hitting the big bits where it doesn't help that the spreader is so small. We'll try and hit the big bits, and if there's patches of unfertilized stuff, I'm not going to be too worried about it. How are we doing? Ah, that was better. So the next big bit is to our right almost immediately, so round about here. New plan. We're not going to use. We're going to empty this on this field, but then we're not going to worry about bits we've missed after that. Okay. So now I want to turn over for that corner over there. approximately, and go. So some of the field will be at what? 50, 40. Can't remember what the penalty is for not ploughing. I suppose I could look that up. Improving yield. Weeds. Okay, plough. Spread fertilizer twice. So we're either going to get 10% or 35% across the field. But it's all better than a less than 100, which is what we got on the first field that we harvested here. Okay, so we'll head approximately over here and start spreading around here. The other thing that's not helping me was the helper didn't plant this field very well either. So I don't even have the benefit of following. Yeah, if we zoom in really close, you've got the lines from the cedar, but they're not straight either. So not too good. We're kind of heading in the right direction, so let's move over a strip and do about here and follow the lines. I think there's a lot of overlap on the right side of the tractor, but we're hitting predominantly unfertilized section. Okay, that's the edge. We turn around, head up here, and then turn back on the line. Should be working. Well, the helper kept taking the cedar into the trash heap behind the machine shops or the machine sheds, so it really wasn't that helpful. But it's, as I said, it's not surprising. The helpers tend to prefer square fields, and if you can't give them a square field, they kind of make it up as they go along. Still, the sun's coming up now, and also I want to be done on this field before it's any chance of it growing more. Oh, I'm not even getting them adjacent. Whatever. I thought I was spreading these lines closer than I actually was. That was close. Okay, we got 372 left. I think I just did a whole stretch of, I've already done that bit. I'm thinking let's head to about there and then just run straight up that side. That'll give me the most return. Now that is an option. It's still not foolproof though. Okay. Let's get closer to the edge, shall we? I also wonder if turning the lights off might help now. Okay. So, straight down here. We missed a bit there. This looks like a bit that needs doing. At least the cedar has fertilizer in it, so we're not completely losing out. We've still got 325, so we've only used 1500 so far on this field. How does this look now? Okay, we're going through a bit we already did. Let's get to the top of the field and spread along the top. The other problem I have is I really haven't worked with this spreader before, so I'm not that familiar with its working width. Take your foot off the pedal when you do that. Okay. Back to about here. And pretty much head straight south. So 56, 67, 70, 78%. Right. Okay, so we're about pretty much dead on, so let's go. And I bought this small one is because it does lime as well as fertilizer. Otherwise I would have to have gone for one of the bigger wheeled fertilizers, and I'm not sure they're going to work particularly well on this map. I mean, you saw the struggles I was having with the cedar trailing out behind the John Deere. So we did quite well there. I'm going to do a quick burst there. Go straight up here and try and figure out that's where we start. So keep on a direct north-south line again. And this spreader as a line spreader is very impractical. I can only get away with it because I've got the lime station right at the top of this field. It's only got a capacity of 1800 litres, so you've seen how quickly lime goes. other advantages is the fence doesn't struggle with it. So, kind of a win all round. Too far over? Yeah, I'm too far over. This is where it starts. Yeah. AV, JD. How you doing? How am I doing? Actually, I'm not doing too badly at this end of the field. All things considered. It's dark. And the fertilizer is a mess. Okay, I think that's done. Well, that was a good recovery for that corner. Where's the biggest bit? Right down the bottom. Oh, I don't know if I can tell where that is. We'll drive at random over here and see where we end up. Okay, stop. Consult the map. Okay. There is something off to the right. Let's see if we can find it. Well, that looks hopeful, promising. That looks promising. I think we got that one done. Yeah, not bad. It's a little bit to the right. Possibly right where I am, yeah, right where I am. Still got 122 left. This is taking a long time to deplete. I missed the bit at the bottom, never mind. If I go this way, there's another bit right here. Should be done. Yeah. Okay, pull a U-turn to the right. Go straight back up that line. Litres left. Okay, back up and run at 90 degrees to the general plane of the field.